Welcome, everybody. This is your boy, Coach Dante, the host of the morning show. And I always got my guy with me, Mo Better, on the morning show with me as a co-host. And we got a new debut of my guy, Smoking Jeremy B, that's going to be with us this morning, finally join us. But other than that, Mo, how we doing this morning?
Hey, good morning, Coach. Hanging in there, ready to go.
Yeah, I'm hanging now, ready to go, ready to talk some ball this morning. Smoking Jeremy B is handling some business right now, but we'll take care of him when he gets fully in. But not looking good for the Los Angeles Lakers. Unfortunately, they went home. I had the Denver Nuggets in 7, but other way, I had the Denver Nuggets winning the series. So other than that. Noah's disappointing sweep this coming season. Disappointing sweep, pretty much. Everybody thought the Lakers would give a better performance, which is they did give us okay, solid performance. They lost close games in the outside of game 3. Every other game was close. Just came down to execution, and Denver executed more down the stretch when they need to execute. Lakers, went cold in the first 2 games down the stretch. Anthony Davis kind of had a struggling series this series. LeBron James, tuned it up in the 4th and final game. Anthony Davis did struggle, even though he did have the points. Jared Vanderbilt, fell up out of the rotation a little bit. D'Angelo Russell, like we mentioned, when he's on, he's on. When he's off, he's not effective and he's not helping the Lakers. So Mo, talk to us about it.
I guess look. The goal is to win championships, and I'm sure that's how LeBron James and the rest of the Lakers feel. But I didn't think this was a championship team. But I must admit, when I saw them beat Golden State, because of the respect I have for the defending champions, honestly, I really thought there was a vision, there was a line, a path for them to actually get to the finals. And I knew that, and I thought that, knowing what the Joker is, knowing what Jamal Murray is, if I made a mistake in my calculations, and Coach, you and I talked about this before,
yep,
it was how impressive their supporting cast was. Like, I knew what they had done through the regular season. I pointed out they had 6 guys that averaged double digits. What I wanted to know is, could they do that consistently through a series? And all of them, to a man, stepped up and proved that. There were times during this series, at least quarters or halves, where Bruce Brown looked like the best player on the floor at times. Like, he had that big an impact. Look, you start everything with Nikola Jokic. It starts with the Joker. But as I've said before, he's their best player. Their most important player still is Jamal Murray. When Jamal Murray is playing at an elite level, they're the team to beat. Then you factor in what Porter Jr. gave you, what KCP gave you, what Aaron Gordon gave you on both ends of the floor, because he actually did, I thought, a good defensive job on LeBron in terms of cutting him off in big moments. LeBron had big numbers, but if you go look at high leverage moments when the Lakers needed buckets, Aaron Gordon did a really good job on him. And that's when you want your best defenders to step up, is in those moments when you need to shut the other team down. Coach, you said it. A lot of these games were close. The Nuggets were able to execute, but they also were able to get stops, and that's something the Lakers couldn't do late in games.
Yeah, Jared Vanderbilt became unuseful in most of the in a lot of in this series, pretty much. Just didn't have a great series. D'Angelo Russell didn't have a great series. When he's not shooting the ball well, he's not effective. He's not helping out the Lakers. So that's basically two rotational spots. Basically, he's down. Malik Beasley don't play. I thought Tristan Thompson in that game 4 came out, gave a lot of energy, which got the Lakers in the game. He was actually pretty good in that game 4. Then he was relieved out for Anthony Davis. And, AD, kind of struggled a little bit in the series, kind of had his issues a little bit, trying to score on Nikola Jokic. He did score on him, but he had to work for everything that he got. No basket for Anthony Davis was easy. And I thought Nikola Jokic, definitely held his own against AD. I thought AD gave Jokic some problems on the offensive side of the ball, but the problem is Jokic being so much good of a playmaker, able to give Denver a little lift. That 2-man game between him and Murray was unstoppable. Lakers had no answer for that, especially for Jamal Murray. Caldwell Pope played a huge piece in this series. Now, I'll say you don't need Caldwell Pope to get you 21 every game. I believe Denver got more than enough firepower for Caldwell Pope not to get you 21 every game like he did in the game 1. But other than that, Jamal Murray was the key to this series, was a wild card to this series right here. When he's on, hey, it's hard to stop Denver. And this is one of these series that Jamal Murray was on. Lakers had no answer for him. They didn't make the proper adjustments for him. But again, it's no proper adjustment that needs to be made if a player's out there just hot, just making every shot in the book. I don't know how
Coach, he's making contested threes.
Yeah.
It's not like guys weren't – I mean, the defense was good. The offense was just so much better. If he's going to cook you from 28 feet from the basket, then you're just going to get cooked. He was playing that well. You've said this to me many times. When a guy gets going,
yeah, it's hard stuff.
There's not much you can do. You can do is contest and play him honest. And Jamal Murray is one of those guys. When he sees one go in, it's a problem.
Yeah, I mean, he hit a variety of them, including Jokic. I mean, the one-legged shot clock down there.
Yeah, he did it a couple times.
Hey, he did it a couple times. Especially he did one of them in game 1 too as well. But hey, when you just got to shake that man's hand and just say, "Good shot, man." That's great defense. Everything. The ball just dropped in Denver way. Each and every time Denver needed a basket, and each and every time the Lakers needed a basket, they could not get it going. Good defense by Aaron Gordon on LeBron James to stop that layup pretty much right there. Jamal Murray had his hand on the ball. Definitely wasn't a foul right there. Definitely was a clean play. The play before that, when the Lakers got the shot clock when LeBron James shot the fadeaway, not too much you can do about that. That's just the shot clock winding down, trying to get a shot up. Right. Did end up hitting the bad boy. I can't go off and blame him on that, saying that's a bad shot. You got 2 seconds on the shot clock, so you're gonna have to make it it's gonna be a tough shot, so you can't blame it right there. That's a tough situation right there. But other than that, Denver played some great defense when they needed to play defense. They were, like I say, the better team.
They were the better, and I'm going to give them all the credit in the world. If you told me before this series that Denver could win this series, I wouldn't argue that they could win it. If you told me they were going to sweep the Lakers, I'm not going to lie, I didn't see that coming. I did not see a sweep coming. So I'm going to give all the credit to not just the players, but Mike Malone. I thought Mike Malone did a great job in his rotations and his adjustments. I think he got in the Joker's head because Mike Malone was willing to let Anthony Davis take those 16-foot face-up jump shots. And I thought too many times Anthony Davis settled for jump shots as opposed to being a little bit more aggressive towards the Joker. But that's coaching, that's strategy. You have to give Denver all the credit, not just the better team, but the better coach team.
Yeah, Yeah, and then there was times that Anthony Davis were able to get to the basket. I thought Jokic defended well. Thought he held his own. He held his own. I mean, especially people saying a guy that don't play good defense. He doesn't play the best of defense, but he competes on that side of the ball. That's all you can really ask for. And I thought, he defended Anthony Davis pretty well. In this series, he made him take some shots that Anthony Davis shouldn't probably take. And he made, when Anthony Davis was able to get into his body, I thought he did play some good defense on that. Sometimes Anthony Davis made it. Sometimes Anthony Davis did. So all that's the narrative saying that Jokic does not play defense. Come on, guys, people. We got to stop saying that. He plays good enough defense. He doesn't play the best defense. He holds his own out there. He competes on that defensive side of the ball.
Right. So let's say he's not all NBA defense, but he competes.
Yes, that's all you can do. Yeah.
And look, as a Laker fan, I would have been good with D'Angelo Russell if he competed on defense.
Yeah.
If you're not going to score or play make, because that's the only reason for him to be on the floor, because you already know he's a poor defender, then compete on defense. The problem was the Nuggets, Bruce Brown said one of their strategies was to go at D'Angelo Russell every chance they got to keep him, to run him off the floor. They ran him off the floor.
Mm-hmm. Yep, definitely did. They definitely did. So you got to give credit to Denver, the way they play, in the coaching style, the organization, the way they built around Nikola Jokic and them. They chose the right person because it was between him and Jusuf Nurkic. They chose Jokic over Nurkic because he was the better talented overall, and Denver made the right decision by letting Jusuf Nurkic go. And Jusuf Nurkic, he's a talented player, but he doesn't stay on the court. He doesn't stay on the court. Yep.
Because they could have made a mistake and kept Nurk. Yep. You're right. Nurk's a good player, but he's nowhere near what the Joker is. Even when he's on the floor, he's a good player. You're talking about the guy that's probably the best player in the league right this moment. Like, no one's ever going to mistake Nurkic for Joker.
Yep. And so we get to the retirement of LeBron James, which is, I don't think he's going to retire. I think he's going to take a moment and reflect and get away from this series a little bit of what happened. But he did say it's in consideration. He didn't say, I think he will come back again. I just think he's just trying to get this off of his mind a little bit. Frustrating the way the Lakers ended up in the series. They lost 4-0. LeBron James did all he could in game number 4 make sure he go back to Denver. But it was those 3 games in the series that were LeBron James, really kind of had a struggle. And most of that, he shot too many threes at times. He wasn't aggressive going to the rim. So Mo, what you think about LeBron James consider retirement? And do you think he is serious about considering retirement?
I don't. I think that it may be in a raw moment because they just lost and he's reflective. 20 years in, 38. You do got to put yourself to another off season. He got to get treatment. He's probably going to get some kind of surgery on that foot. So maybe he's being honest in the sense that it might creep into his head, but I think that at the further away he gets from this season, I think the more he's going to start thinking about next season. I don't think there's any question he's going to play again because he said it as much as 4 years ago. His mission was he wanted to play with his son. I still think that's a mission. That's a goal for him. And I still think that LeBron James wants to win more titles. So I don't think he's finished at all.
Definitely. I'm not buying that he's finished at all. So again, we go to what's next for the Lakers because you got D'Angelo Russell, who's free agent. You got Austin Reeves, who's free agent. You got Rui Hachimura, who's free agent. I believe Jared Vanderbilt is out there, or if I'm not mistaken, I believe he's out there too as well. So the Lakers got some signings to do. They got some free agencies people. Schroeder, free agent. He's on a 1-year deal, I believe. He was only on a 1-year deal this year, so he's a free agent as well. So Mo, what's next for the Lakers?
Well, first they have to re-sign Austin Reeves, and you and I talked about this. Unless somebody puts a deal on the table that's like so far beyond what he should be getting, I think he's gonna be a Laker. That's not impossible. There's a team out there with cap space that looks at Austin Reeves and go, yeah, he's worth about 60 million, but we'll up it to 80 million to make sure that we get him. I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility. Look, Alex Caruso, good player, but he's a better defender, but he can't score or play make like Austin Reeves. And he got 50 million from Chicago. So I'm sure whoever Austin Reeves' agent is, he's looking at that contract and going, well, my guy's better than him. So Austin Reeves is going to be looking for $75 million, somewhere in that vein. And I don't know if the Lakers want to go that high, but I think that's the kind of money that he's going to garner as a free agent. I think they want to re-sign him and Rui. Both of them are 24 years old, so their career going forward is still ahead of them. I don't think either one of them have even hit their primes. So you want young guys as part of your core. The question is, what are you willing to pay to keep them? And if you're going to still make LeBron and AD your centerpiece, to me, you got to find another guy that can take the ball away from LeBron and let LeBron rest. You need another guy who can make consistently and get buckets. And D'Angelo Russell can do that at times. He's just inconsistent. And what we saw in the playoffs, if they want to bring him back, I can understand it. But if they let him go, I can understand that as well, because you need somebody. There's regular season ready and there's playoff ready, and maybe D'Angelo Russell just isn't playoff ready.
Yeah, definitely on that one. Like I say, again, I think the Lakers got the money. They have the money, and we got my boy Smoking Jeremy B up in the building.
What's up, fellas?
Hey, Detroit Lions fans, Detroit
Pistons, Detroit Red Wings, Detroit Tigers. 3 of them suck. One of them's getting better.
Hey, you know what? All around Detroit, man. My boy Smoking Jeremy B. Good to have you back on, man. So we were just talking about the Lakers sweep, man. So what you think about that series?
I think Denver was the better team, played better defense. They shut down everybody but LeBron and AD, and that's why the Lakers lost. You look at it, that's what they did. Vanderbilt didn't show up. D'Angelo Russell had some spurts here and there, but wasn't consistent through all 4 games. That's why they lost. Where's Freddie? I want to call his ass out. He said after the Lakers beat the Warriors, we're winning it.
Is LeBron James serious about retirement? Do you think, or do you?
No. You know what that is? That's that knee-jerk reaction, like Aaron Rodgers had after the first NFC Championship game. I don't know if I want to play anymore. I lost. I'm stuck. He had 40 points in that game. Shut the hell up. You're all right. You'll come back. He wants to play a Bronny anyways. He'll play till then.
Definitely. So again, the Lakers have a lot of offseason people. No, they're not going to resign all these guys back. They're going to lose some of them. But the biggest prize to them is Austin Reeves. And what Lakers got, Reeves a free agent. You got Russell a free agent. You got Hachimura a free agent. I think Schroeder is a free agent because he was on a 1-year deal coming in. Russell is a free agent. What way do you think the Lakers should do?
I think they should re-sign them all because they don't have a draft pick till 2030. They traded them all away for everybody.
Yep.
I mean, I think Bronny will be a 4-year starter by the time they have their next draft pick.
Damn.
I'm sorry. I just like being fun. LA teams, you know what? They take the Les Snead approach. Screw them picks.
Got you.
That's been their history.
So the overall Mo about Coach Darvin Ham this year, how would you assess his season this year? If you
I'm going to say this right now. Did anyone expect the Lakers, the way they started, to make the playoffs?
Not me.
Be honest.
Not really. I thought they would be a playing team.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So the fact they made the playoffs and they made it as far as they did is a testament as to how good Darvin Ham coaches and the assistants that he put around him to help him be successful in year 1 as a coach. It's huge when they do that. It's the same thing in football as it is in baseball, as it is in any sport. If you are a new coach, you have to have experience help in your assistants to make it so you can get your point across better because otherwise the players will not respect the new coach.
Got you. Mo, how would you assess this season for Darvin Ham?
I thought he did a great job. I thought he did a really good job of holding the locker room together. He made everybody accountable. He kind of galvanized them. Now, he might not be the best X's and O's coach, but remember, this is a first-year coach. But he found a way to motivate each guy, challenge them, got the role players to star in their roles, to find them ending up in the Western Conference Finals, and you lose to the number 1 seed, the team has arguably been the best team in the regular season. It's a disappointment, but his season, the job that he did, that's an outstanding job.
That is. I mean, especially, when they made the trades at the trade deadline, they were 13th in the Western Conference when they made those trades. So those Jared Vanderbilt and D'Angelo Russell did help them in spurts. And throughout the whole regular season, to close the regular season out, they were the best team in the Western Conference throughout that time. They had the top-rated defense at that time. So no doubt about it, Darvin Ham know how to control the locker room, especially when you have LeBron James in that damn locker room that like to call all the damn shots, and you can keep him minimized at the best that you could. That's a hell of a coaching job, man. That's a hell of a really coaching job that Darvin Ham did. So a lot of people gonna say this season was a failure because the Lakers. When you're a big market like them, you expect them to win championships. But this is a pretty solid season for the Los Angeles Lakers, especially when they was at the 13th seed. When they was at the 13th seed, coming all the way to the Western Conference Finals, beating the Golden State Warriors, who people still had, as a scare in the Western Conference. Now the Lakers dethroned them, and now they get swept by Denver, and we all know Denver was the best team throughout the whole season. They were the best team. They end up making it to the finals. So there's no shame of getting beat by Denver, but the way they got beat by Denver, it's kind of shocking. It's kind of, you wouldn't expect them to get beat by Denver on a sweep. You would expect the series to be more competitive, but you got to just give credit to the Denver Nuggets for, executing down the stretch and stuff. I had it going 7, Denver, but at the end of the day, Denver was the better team. Go ahead, Jeremy.
I wish I wouldn't have been rebuilding personally in my life. I'm like the Lions when they had Matthew Stafford. I'm in the 6th version of a rebuild. Personally,
I'm with you. I'm my team along with yours. We the same.
No. I'm talking about personal life issue there.
Oh.
I'm rebuilding again for the 6th time in my life.
Yeah.
That being said, if I'd have had $50, I was putting it on the suite.
Wow. Oh yeah. I didn't want to disrespect the Lakers like that.
I did.
I didn't want to do that. I don't like them. I don't like them.
As a Pistons fan, I'm going to tell you right now, I knew that they would have one of the worst records in the league. I said, and they'll be worst to 5th worst at best. And the reason why? Coach Casey. He's great. He's great at developing offensive talent, getting them to move the ball, getting them to do well on that side of the ball. But if that team didn't score 130 points, they weren't winning a lot of games, and it proved it. Yep.
Well, it do gotta suck for you guys because you guys end up getting the 5th pick. Y'all with the worst record. Y'all with the worst record, probably. Y'all with the worst record in the league, right?
Yeah, 17 and forever.
Yep. So it did have to suck on that point. I'm not too much better because I ended up getting the 4th pick. Now we was probably the 3rd worst record.
Who's your team? Houston.
The Rockets. I'm a Rocket. Houston all the way.
Yeah, Spurs and Rockets were tied.
Yeah. The cold part about it, we won the damn tiebreaker, and they still end up getting the first number 1.
Oh, got the 4th pick still. Yeah. Better. We went backwards. We should have been the 1. We lost 4 picks. I'm so upset. There's a reason why the NFL draft will be watched more than anything.
Mm-hmm.
Because the tankathon is real. It doesn't matter. If your team sucks and you get the first pick, you get the first pick. That's the way it goes. And that's the way it should be across the board. This draft lottery that they do for Major League Baseball and for NBA is ruining their draft.
That's what I'm saying. It should be just like the NFL. You finish with the worst record, hey, you get the first overall pick. I don't understand.
Or if there's a tie, instead of flipping a coin, make them do a best of 3 series to get the first pick. I think that would be fantastic, and it would be watchable because both teams are bad.
Yeah.
I said the same thing about if there's a tie in the NFL. The two worst teams tied at the bottom, they should call it the toilet bowl and let them play.
Yep. Let them play one game in the NFL.
One game, the two crappiest teams in the country. Whoever wins gets the first pick. Not the loser, the winner.
Gotcha.
I think that would be a great plan going forward rather than a lottery.
For real. You ain't lying about that part, especially for the NBA.
Or in the NBA, you could even do a small play-in tournament after the series is over, after the championship. You could do a small 4-team playoff to get the first pick. Whoever wins it gets the first pick.
Yep.
I'd like that better. Best of 3 in the first round, best of 5 in the second round.
Interesting. That would be very.
I'd watch that.
Very
Yeah, because you know what you're going to see? A hell of a lot of offense and no defense. That's what everybody loves.
Definitely. So I think this question, I think it's no question that Denver can win it all this year. And
if they're playing Miami, they're going to have problems, and they're playing Miami, right?
It's a possibility. Miami got to close out in Boston. They got to try to close it out.
Jimmy Butler's still on the floor.
Yep, Jimmy Butler's still on the floor. He's
they're winning the series.
Yep. Like again, it depends. Like
it depends on whether it's tonight or 3 nights from now.
Yeah, it depends on whether if it's Thursday or however it comes out. No, Miami just need one win to close it out, which is it kind of maybe more harder because you're going to Boston. But other than that, see, my original pick was Boston, Denver, and Boston. I got Boston in the finals. Had Boston winning, but I might switch my pick on that one because the way Boston plays at times, hey, they don't look good, but they looked damn good last night, which we gonna get into that. But no question about this. Everybody agree. If you don't agree, raise your hand. Denver wins it all. Denver win it all? I just
I
have Denver winning in 6, no matter who they play.
Okay.
I got Denver winning it all. I just think they're the best team. And I got all the respect in the world.
It won't go 7 games. Yeah, I don't care who they play. It ain't going 7 games.
I don't know what I'd be interested to see what Miami could even do with Joker.
Yeah, but I don't need no discussion. We all know Denver can win it all, no matter who they play. That's who they beaten. They beaten whoever they play. So other than that, we go to this next topic, and I want to start off on this topic right here. First of all, I've been respected Jokic in his game. He definitely deserves it. And all the shit that the man took after losing even a damn series to Golden State because he didn't have his 2 best players last year. You shit on him from losing that series. The man averaged 31 in that series. He got him a win against the defending champions. Anytime this man lose a game or lose a finals, you find a way to shit on him. You shit on Giannis. About playing with Eric Bledsoe. Eric Bledsoe couldn't get him down.
Garbage.
You shit on him, and he wins an NBA title. And now I want Jokic to win the title even more to stick it to the Philadelphia Sixers fan base and the Embiid face for always trying to make an excuse for this man. So other than that, Jokic, you can argue he's the best center. He's the best center in the league. As right now, his game elevates in it. Go ahead, Jeremy. Go ahead.
Okay. I want to say I'm tired of fans shitting on anybody that wins an MVP that can't get it all the way done. Because what does MVP mean? You were best in the regular season.
Yeah.
It does not mean you're best in the playoffs. It does not mean you have the best team going in the playoffs. It's an individual award. So to knock anyone for how they play in the playoffs or who they lose to is bullshit.
Yep. He got a lot of shit for losing that Warriors series.
I know he did. And I hated it then.
He didn't have Jamal Murray. He didn't have Jamal Murray Michael Porter Jr. last year. And he got a lot of shit, especially Sixers fans shitted on him. Definitely did it. Definitely shitted on him really, really bad. They shitted on Giannis bad when he lost to Eric Bledsoe and when he lost a couple years ago. They shitted on him pretty bad. But you mean tell me Joel Embiid gets these excuses after he had good enough teams and he didn't show up as well in the playoffs? Trust me, I got that full resume in my desk right now. You ask Mo, I got the full resume of his whole playoff career.
And he threw his teammates under the bus.
And this is each and every year this dude throw his teammates up under the bus. Oh, me and James Harden, we need other guys to step up. We need other guys to step up. Other guys to step up. You and James Harden didn't step up when it matters the most, especially him. So every time he throw his teammates up under the bus instead of holding himself accountability, and he's the one. He's the one. Go ahead.
Introduce this guy right here. Desmond Lawrence, the fan of the best team in the NBA right now.
I mean, again, man. Man, I respect y'all. I want this man to win a championship just to stick it to him. And a lot of people now you're starting to see, hey, man, they call it Joel Embiid a fraudulent MVP. Now you know how it feels. Now to call Jokic a fraudulent MVP.
Right. I get it. But I don't enjoy those conversations.
Yes.
Because I think it's redonkulous. Not just ridiculous, it's redonkulous.
Yep. Especially a man that advanced every single goddamn year. Now Joel Embiid watching them in the finals. But Dez, man, I'd like to welcome you back. Right now, man, it's gotta feel good, especially you beat Mo and Freddie. Now they can't say nothing to you now. You got them now. You got them where you want them now, Dez. Hey, man. Go ahead and let it all out, man.
How much you get? How much you get off of Freddie on that series? I know you bet with him. How much you get? How much you get?
I had to take a little break, man. But it was good, man. It was good. The celebration is like not done in the city yet. I think everybody in the city wants them to just advance and win the finals. The city itself, like the watch parties I've been to, I went to both the ones, Game 3 and Game 4. I went to both of them. Just the energy in the arena, it felt like a home game. Because this fan base is so like in tune with the Nuggets, Nikola Jokic and just that front office. You gotta give the GM credit, man. You gotta give them credit for the people they brought in: Bruce Brown, DeAndre Jordan, Ish Smith.
Right.
Those guys you don't see a lot. We don't see DeAndre Jordan or Ish Smith play a lot, but just the knowledge of the game. I mean, they played with LeBron, so they know LeBron. And just Mike Malone, he's known LeBron for 5 years, so he knows how to get to LeBron, right? And it was just a collective effort, man. I think it was just a great win by the Nuggets. And they're not satisfied. You could tell this team is not even like, all right, we made the Western Conference Finals. Cool. No, like they came in at 1 o'clock yesterday, and they are literally like, they're going to get some rest, but they already started getting the works of, okay, we most likely will play the Heat because the Celtics winning last night gave the Nuggets a little bit more extra, I guess, rest with motivation at the same time. I mean, both teams will have at least 9 days to kind of get ready, but Denver has an advantage already getting back onto their home floor. And if you're Miami, you better win Thursday, because if not, you got to play Saturday, and then you got to think about that's a quick turnaround for June 1st. So
I didn't even know Ish Smith was on the bench. That right there got you one more game from the Lakers because of how he got under the skin when he was in Cleveland.
Mm-hmm, exactly. I mean, DeAndre Jordan and hey, Mo, I respect Mo. Mo, I respect you, man. You're a Laker fan that, you stick through it, man. Freddie's been quiet, and I just felt like LeBron
ride with your team no matter what. Yeah,
no matter
much respect
what,
for coming in. You ain't talk, You didn't come in here and talk shit. You've been humble. And you gave credit where credit's due. And you heard us all say it. Denver's winning this championship. I said it ain't going past 6 games. No matter who they play. It could be Boston, it could be Miami. It ain't going past 6 games.
I just feel like what I saw last night from Boston, they might heat up and make this at least a good 6-game series. That's my opinion, because you have people shooting threes and everybody in rhythm last night, and they're going back to Boston. That's going to be a little dangerous for Miami, but I'm so happy, man. Like yesterday, man, I got to work and I was tired. I was really tired from that watch party. I've never seen the city like this since last year with the Avalanche, and how they won the Stanley Cup. So I give credit where it's due. I think LeBron just needs some more pieces on the bench that can step up. I mean, you had D'Angelo Russell finally step up a little bit in shooter, but that's not enough because it has to be consistent. And I mean, when LeBron had that quarter that he had, it was kind of scary as a Nuggets fan when the Nuggets were down 58-72 at halftime. But at the end of the day, I mean, Jokic, the way he plays the game, they play at their pace, like Mo said. They play at their pace. They play great in transition. and they play together. So
Right.
like I said, I mean, that's what I'm saying. I said this in the playoffs when we were about to start this. I said the Nuggets have more cohesiveness than the Lakers. I just feel like the Lakers had more consistency with LeBron on the floor, and he even said it during his presser, availability. If he was more available, maybe that would have made a difference, right? But I feel like next season, if they get the right pieces during the offseason, I think it'll be okay. I think for Coach Dante with the Rockets, and they might have potentially James Harden probably coming back. That may be a fruition. Coach, I just feel
James Harden.
I'm not gonna.
I like him everywhere but the playoffs.
I've always liked him.
We're not gonna be proud.
No. Seriously, I'm not trying to be mean.
No,
in the biggest games, he disappears in the playoffs.
And I know that. And I don't care who be mean. Like I said, I don't care. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. Don't work on it.
By the way, Sixers fan, this is what happened in your playoffs.
Everybody knows James Harden is in the playoffs, so it wouldn't bug me more. Yes, we would get better. We would get better. We would be more competitive. But am I convinced? Hell no. I wouldn't give a damn. We wouldn't give a damn at all. Like I said again, hey, we got one of the top coaches in the thing, so our team is going to get better. So
that's big right there because you got Coach U.
You got Coach U, and like I said, I was happy when I heard the Rockets. I mean, we already know the Rockets got buku money to spend, right? They're going to be aggressive.
We got the most money in this free agency period. We can sign.
Exactly. So I'm happy for you, Coach Dante. I'm happy for Mo too because I'm intrigued. I'm actually, as a Nuggets fan, I'm intrigued to see what the Lakers will do to construct their team next year. So
you know what the Lakers said to Golden State?
But no, I'm happy, man. I'm so happy. I already got my T-shirt. I didn't wear it today because, like I said, I'm gonna try to go to Game 1. I'm really trying to go to Game 1. Those tickets are so expensive that it's not even funny. Like the cheapest ticket I seen on Ticketmaster for Game 1 on 300 is $700.
Yeah.
So
they say that all these leagues are about the common fan.
Yeah.
But they don't give common fan prices to nosebleed tickets for any playoff game.
Right. Someone said on Facebook on one of the Nuggets group pages they said literally these games are going to have people that are like rich people are trying to flex that or like a status that, hey, I went to the game. Now y'all know I got a YouTube channel. I ain't trying to flex for the YouTube channel, but for the network, that's it. So, but as a Nuggets fan, I'm going to try to go. I feel like
you and Freddie need to go do you know what? You need to make Freddie do a play-by-play with you.
You know what?
Do a play-by-play anyway. Be a good sport, Freddie.
And because he lost until next NBA season, he should pay your streaming service until the season starts. He's got the money, make him pay.
Hey, I'll take that. I'll take that on. But hey,
and then he can be a guest for a play-by-play once a week, no matter what team you follow.
Yep. All right, I'm down for that. But to wrap it up, I'm happy as a Nuggets fan. Definitely celebrate a little bit. I didn't drink or anything, but celebrate too much because once that happened at that watch party, you seen fans just jump up and down. You seen fans just crying. You seen fans. I mean, me as a fan, I literally was just like in shock still because
it's history for you guys, right? Yeah. I mean, this is the first trip to the finals. So when you think of the history of your squad with guys from back in the day like Issel and Thompson, and then you go forward Alex English and Melo, to be where you are now, that first, not just getting to the finals, but to win that first, that's going to be amazing for your city.
No doubt. And honestly,
Denver had to embrace the Nuggets because the Broncos were so bad last year because of Nathaniel Hackett.
It was someone put a post. They said the Avalanche won last year, the Nuggets will win it this year, and then the Broncos will possibly win it in 2024. I said, slow your roll. We got rid of the kicker yesterday. I wasn't happy about that.
I hope the Lions pick him up.
Yeah, I'm like, and now they're trying to get this kicker that you remember the Cowboys kicker that missed 5 extra points last year.
You picking Mayer?
Yeah, they brought him in as a trial.
Hitter, Mayer miss.
We gonna cut this guy, and we're gonna get someone that missed 5 extra points. I'm like, wow. But like I said, as a Nuggets fan, we're not even satisfied yet. We got 4 more wins to go. Like I said, the Heat, they really just need to close the series out, but they really got to close out. The Heat got to close it out. They got to. If you bring Boston back in this series, that's scary. That's scary. You're asking for trouble.
I think they're going to lose in Boston, and they're
I
going to
think you're
win
going
it
to
at
get the
home.
best version of Jimmy Buckets in game 5. I think Jimmy Butler. He's been kind of deferring the last couple of games, letting other guys shine. But I think after last night, I think Jimmy's going to come out on a mission. I think Jimmy's looking to end it in game 5. So if Boston's going to win and extend the series, they better play their best game. They better play even better than they played last night, because I think you're going to see the best version of Jimmy Buckets on game 5.
Exactly.
I will say, on the football front, I have 2 takes to do real quick.
Go ahead.
Arizona screwed up and didn't take Sean Payton. I knew he was going to Denver because he likes short quarterbacks. Drew Brees, Kyler Murray, Russell Wilson. I mean, that's not a joke. That's what he likes, is 5'11" quarterbacks. All those guys are 5'11". Well, Kyler Murray might be 5'2". He just wears heels. But anyways, that being said, and with Tom Brady being a minority owner of the Oakland Raiders, he's expecting that porn star Jimmy will go down to an injury like he does every year, and he will be the first owner player in the NFL.
Damn.
That's my take. And I agree with Key right here. Key says that y'all need to talk to Matt Ariza, the punt god, now that he's been cleared of all charges and can come back to the NFL, because the way Russell Wilson cooked last year, you need a good punter.
Mm-hmm.
We got one. We got one though. We got the guy that
you ain't got a guy that kicks it 82 yards down the field.
No, we just got the punter that played for us back in the Super Bowl days. I think it was like Riley Dixon or something like that. I'm fine with that because he can.
I'd rather have the punt god all day. If you give me somebody that can be pinned on the 1 yard line and pin them in the 20, I'm all for it.
Des, you guys are going to be a power running team this year.
Mm-hmm. If Javonte Williams is healthy,
throwing it. Yeah, we're not going to be throwing it like 1,000
yards. If Javonte Williams is healthy, y'all got a bowling ball with legs.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
but like
I mean, all he does is bowl people over. And I'm going to address one thing to Lions fans out there that watch. David Montgomery managed 800 yards a year behind one of the worst O-lines in the league the last 3 years. What was the Lions' number 1 in last year? Yards before contact for running backs. So if he averaged 3.8 behind an O-line that let him get touched almost a whole yard behind the line, imagine what he's going to do with 4 yards of play. That ain't bullshit. That's being honest.
I know.
But that being said, Jahmyr Gibbs was brought in and everybody was upset. I said at the end of the year, when Swift missed 4 games, he was gone. I said, he's going to get traded, whether it's in the draft, before the draft, or after the draft. We're drafting a running back. Get used to it. And it's going to be somebody to replace him who might be faster and be more explosive. I was hoping for Devin Achane. I was not expecting it at 12. But when we traded back, I knew it wasn't Behan.
Yep. So other than that, we expect everybody talking about, the Miami Heat dropping the game, by 17 last night, which is they had 16 turnovers, real bad last night. They shot 8 from 32 from the field. Boston.
I see the fan of UGA North said, "Welcome home, Swifty."
Yeah, Boston made 18 threes. Hard to beat someone when you're on fire from downtown. They also, assisted 28 times, which is they did have very good ball movement. So, Mo, what you thought about last night's game? And Tatum finally woke up. He finally scored a bucket in the fourth quarter. He didn't going into that game. He didn't score a bucket in the fourth quarter. Going into that game last
I thought he was going into witness protection the first 2 games and the fourth quarter. He just disappeared.
So, Mo, what you think about that one? What you think about that?
I thought you just named the key. You had an aggressive Jason Tatum that was impactful in the fourth quarter. Like, Jaylen Brown didn't really play a great game, but I thought as a team, Marcus Smart got more involved. Robert Williams impacted the game. Grant Williams made some big threes. Boston shot the ball well from 3. I thought they competed better on the boards. They were going after the 50-50 balls. They played like a desperate team, and their stars stepped up. It was a rare letdown for Miami. It's very rare that you outwork the Miami Heat. And I thought the Boston Celtics outworked them, especially in the third and fourth quarters.
Definitely. Des, what you thought?
I agree with Mo on this one. Mo, Jaylen Brown's kind of been taking a back seat in this series, I think, for instance. I mean, and you look at the series, he hasn't scored over 23 points. He's never got over that threshold. Even when I put my little bets in, like yesterday, I put him under 23 points, and you see what happened yesterday. You've seen Jason Tatum really take over that team. That is his team. We never during the playoffs when they were dropping games, we were like, that's not them at all. They need to get some cohesiveness, and I think they found something. And for Miami, I don't. You ask this: was the pressure at home? And you know how some teams say we don't take a back seat. We're up 3-0. We don't do. I felt like they had a little bit of that last night because look, you're on your home floor. You had the advantage of closing out on your home floor. Now you have to go back to Boston, where they beat Boston pretty well in Boston. Felt comfortable. But like Mo said, I mean not Mo, but Mo and Mo. Jimmy Buckets can't do it alone. Bam Adebayo has to be a little bit more aggressive on the boards, a little bit more aggressive on scoring. And if the threes aren't falling, I know a lot of teams do this. Like the Nuggets do this, the Heat do this. They force threes. Don't force it. If it's not going in, drive, put your head down, get into the paint. You have Bam Adebayo. Nobody on the Celtics can really, and I can't say they can't really guard him, but that guy has so much size. He at least gets you to the foul line, slow the game down. Because I just felt like every time Boston brought up the basketball, you've seen either Tatum have the basketball, Marcus Smart get the basketball, Al Horford get the basketball, and they're shooting threes. You had Derek White shooting threes yesterday, and you barely see him score in the series. So if I'm the Boston Celtics, you need to get Jaylen Brown involved a little bit more. He needs to be a little more aggressive because Tatum can't do it alone. If I'm Miami, you go back to Boston, Jimmy Butler. You get to close this game out. So we'll see what happens.
I think Caleb Martin has outplayed Jaylen Brown. Caleb Martin has outplayed Jaylen Brown.
Yeah.
Caleb Martin for most of this series has been the first or second best player in this series. Like Jimmy Butler in this particular series has played through the double teams and let other guys cook. He hasn't been as aggressive, but I expect him to step it up come game 5. But Caleb Martin, that man has earned himself a big paycheck in the offseason. Like you talk
he
about
should get a nice mid-grade contract is what he should get.
100%.
Before he was going to get that, okay, you're a here contract. But the way he played in this series, he's earned himself a mid-level contract. I'm not saying he's going to be paid like a top guy, but he ain't going to be getting like the vet minimum.
Yep, correct.
But also, you got to look at Miami. Stop passing the ball. They were passing the ball the first 3 games great. Last night, it was not good. They just kept chucking up a 3 because they were behind. Chuck up a 3. If you're bricking it, you got to move the ball and drive into the paint. You got to do both. You just can't sit there and let one guy drive down. Oh, I'm open, Rick. I'm not wrong.
Yep.
I see that Sajin comes in and says, Smoking, how you feel about the Lions' chances this season division-wise? Right now, if you go over the roster improvements and everything else, the Lions are the most improved team in the division. The team that had the biggest fall off was the Minnesota Vikings with what they lost and got back in return. They haven't replaced enough on the defensive side of the ball. Joshua Addison is a nice complementary piece to Justin Jefferson with how they drafted him to replace Thielen, because Thielen is one of those guys that misses 5 to 8 games a year, so you can't have him on the roster no more at the price he was at. You had to cut him because they were in cap hell.
Yep.
Saved money to cut him this year, so that's what they did. The wanting to trade Dalvin Cook, it makes sense. Another guy that misses 3 to 8 games a season. If you miss 3 to 8 games a season, you are not helping your team. So they want to trade him. If he's not traded by June 1st, the cut money's there. They can cut him and save money because they are in cap hell. They can't even finish signing their rookies right now. That's how low they are in cap space. So I like the Lions' chances, because you can't go from a possible Hall of Fame quarterback to Jordan Love and think you're going to do better in a season. A guy that's thrown 26 passes in the NFL.
You lied about that.
And then you got the 4th best running back that can throw the football in the league playing for Chicago. Yes, he's got some better weapons this year, but until we see it on the field, you can't say he's a good quarterback yet. When you have 7 touchdowns and 10 interceptions, you ain't that good.
Got you on that one. Got you. So again, this is one of these games, Boston kind of finally woke up. I mentioned they had good ball movement, 28 assists. That's a lot of assists in a game. And Jeremy just mentioned they wasn't moving the ball. They had 18 assists. That's a lot of do your thing basketball. I call that do your thing basketball where you're trying to score individual. And Caleb Martin has been probably the second best player on the Miami Heat in this series. It's going to be tough going back to Boston. And that was my first time seeing Boston responded after getting punched in the mouth all 3 times by Miami. Miami was down double digits both games in Boston. They managed to come back and punch Boston back in the mouth. Third game, Boston didn't recover. They came out. Miami came out, punched them in the mouth right then and now. Boston didn't recover. Miami got on a 9-0 run. They were up by 9, 61-52. That was the first time I seen Boston recover after a punch in the mouth in this series. So again, they comfortable at home. Boston should be more comfortable at home. And if I'm Miami, you gotta come out here with this win because again, the team that's up, I think it's more pressure on them than a team that's down because you're trying to close out a series. And now Boston is playing more freely. With nothing to lose at this point of time. So they're going to come out playing. They're going to come out trying to jump all over you and come out playing. And Miami, I've seen them respond a lot of times with a punch in the mouth. And Boston got to play all 4 quarters. This is a game they got to play a full 4 quarters, and they haven't played it. They haven't played a full 4 quarters the first 3 games. They haven't did it. They really haven't played a full 4 quarters. The last game, they came back in the third quarter because Jason Tatum had to put him on his back, and he definitely did it. So other than that, Jimmy Butler, it's a lot of pressure on. How much pressure, Jeremy, on Jimmy Butler? We'll start with you. How much pressure on Jimmy Butler for the Miami Heat to close out this series?
Have we not asked this the last 3 years in a row on Jimmy Butler?
Yep.
He doesn't feel pressure.
Yep.
What he does is he just turns it around and turns it into gameplay. He's going to come out firing. He'll probably be the best player on the roster again in this game. But I don't think everybody around him with it being on the road is going to pull it together to close it out. I think it's going to go back to Miami. Okay. That's just my personal opinion.
I agree.
Go back to Miami, and then once the fans get behind him, everybody else will play better. Because when you get punched in the mouth like that, and it took 3 games for Boston to recover from the haymakers that Miami had been doling out. You know why? They were dazed. They were confused. They didn't know what to do. And finally, Jason Tatum said, F this. I'm going to play. I'm not going into witness protection the last quarter. I'm going to show up.
Yep.
And he did. And that's why they were better.
Yep. Definitely agree. I got it going back. I got it going back to Boston. That's going back to Miami as well. Des, how much pressure is it on Jimmy Butler or on Miami to get this series closed out?
There's not a lot of pressure at all, I think. I think you got one more game to go to win this series. They know it. They just got to do it. That's it. They got to do it. I feel like what Mo said and what you said, Coach, earlier, I think they're going to get this win. I think they're going to get this win in Boston. They play really comfortable in Boston. I mean, Boston's a hostile environment. I think the thing that they did now, you let that window of opportunity open up for Boston. You just seen them play a great game yesterday. They were down at halftime 56-50, and they actually rallied and scored 66 points to Miami's 43 the rest of the way. So all 4 quarters, all 3 phases, defense, bench has to show up. Bam, like I said, Bam Adebayo, Strus, Gabe Vincent. We know they live by the 3, died by the 3. I think Jimmy Butler, you're one way going back to the finals. Close it out in Boston. If I were him, I think you're playing with house money, go for it. And we already know the coach they have, Eric Spoelstra. They're going to make some adjustments, and I think they're going to get the next win on Thursday.
Mo, how you feel about it?
I think Miami's going to try to knock them out in Game 5. Look, if they lose, if you're right, and it goes back to a Game 6 in Miami, Game 6 in Miami becomes a Game 7 for Miami. That's their Game 7. Because if you lose Game 6, Game 7 is played in Boston. Look, Boston, first of all, they haven't been great at home. Let's all acknowledge that.
No, they've been getting beat at home.
They've been getting beat like a drum at home, so they're not great at home for whatever reason. So that's why to just assume that they're going back to Boston, they got it made. I'm not so sure. I think if you're going to get Tatum, this version of Tatum, then Coach, you're probably right. He'll find a way to put him on his back, and lead them back. But I also, like I said, I think you're going to see a determined and a better version of Jimmy Butler for Game 5. Game 5 could very well be the best game of this series because I think you're going to get the best from both teams.
Definitely. So we're gonna move on. So we got some possibility coaches that can end up at a certain spot. The Sixers had interviewed Frank Vogel. The Milwaukee Bucks possibly they're interviewing Nick Nurse. Doc Rivers always gonna find a way to be a disappointing and get let go, but his reputation is going to allow him to come back and get a job. He's one of the top candidates for the Phoenix job. Jeremy, I'm gonna start with you.
Vogel's a great coach. I wish he was the top choice of the Pistons, but he wasn't. So therefore, because he coaches defense, something the Pistons are sorely lacking. Now, granted, the college coach, it'll be his first time in the NBA, and he does coach defense. I'm just curious as to how he's going to do it. I mean, it is a young roster, and they should be able to handle it, but it depends on what he puts around him in assistants. Is like I said, just like Darvin Ham, you can't go with newbie assistants and expect them to respect you.
So Des, what you think about the coaching carousel? You got Nick Nurse possibility in Milwaukee, Doc Rivers possibly in Phoenix. What you think about that? And you also got Monty Williams out there. Sam Cassell is a possibility for the Sixers. Mike D'Antoni possibility for the Sixers as well. So Toronto I don't think Toronto still hasn't got their head coach yet. So what do you think about the coaching carousel, but mainly about Nick Nurse possibility to the Bucks or Doc Rivers possibly in Phoenix?
I say Doc Rivers in Phoenix. I feel that one that's player driven. You got Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, Doc Rivers. He has a great resume, but he always chokes when it gets to second round of the playoffs. So I think that coaching, that would be a good hire. And then Nick Nurse, that would be great too. You still got, like you said, Mike D'Antoni out there. Like I said, for the 76ers, I'm kind of keeping an eye on that one because you never know. With them, you never know. Their owner, I don't know. He kind of doesn't make it really clear, you know what I'm saying, what he wants and what that organization wants. It's kind of fishy right now because, like we said before in the last couple episodes, if I'm Joel Embiid, you definitely got to have some say in who the next head coach is.
That's what I'm saying. You got to have some say so.
You know, and you got, like we said, we got to take some responsibility. Hey, like LeBron. You seen LeBron? He wasn't happy. They asked him the question, hey, who do you think, who should be here? That's up to the GM and everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Darvin Ham did a hell of a job. I think he did a hell of a job.
Yep.
But like Jeremy was saying, with these first year head coaches that are flying up on the radar, like Sam Cassell. I mean, he's been a great assistant, but do you think he'll be a great head coach? It depends on the system, depends on the fit. So me, I'm intrigued with the Doc Rivers, Nick Nurse going to the 76ers possibly. That's great because we did with Toronto, but I just don't know. I don't know. So I think the one with Phoenix, with Doc Rivers, I'm not surprised at all. I mean, you look at Doc Rivers and what he did, but that was with Boston. And then when we had the Clippers, I mean, you didn't have a Kawhi Leonard that was really healthy. So, and you didn't have Paul George that was healthy either sometimes either. So, of course, that roster is going to be knocked down a little bit. So, you got to give a little grace to Doc Rivers as well, and what the job he's done. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens. But I'm happy if that goes to the Suns. I'm fine with that because you look what you took away, and then look what you're about to get. And you got Devin Booker and Kevin Durant, and Kevin Durant has a small window like LeBron. They need to win a championship now.
Go ahead, Jeremy.
Other than Boston, what has Doc Rivers done in the playoffs?
Nothing.
Phoenix Suns fans everywhere are going,
no. I mean, he had a healthy Kawhi Leonard and Paul George together in the bubble. Still, they lost.
And he blew a 3-1 lead with them.
3-1 lead. So
yeah, exactly. That falls on coaching. That falls on coaching. When you can't coach your players up to win a series, when you're up 3-1, you are a bad coach.
I wouldn't call him a bad coach. I would just say that he's a
great
short.
Wait. He's a great regular season coach, but he can't coach in the playoffs to save his ass.
I call Doc Rivers a very good coach, not a great coach.
That's what I would agree with.
I say very good coach, not a great coach at all. Not a great coach, overrated head coach. I'll call him that. I'll be up in that area. I think the biggest backbreaker was losing that series years ago to my Houston Rockets. That was probably the biggest backbreaker right there. But he had the double-digit lead, and they end up blowing it at home.
With Harden sitting on the bench. That's the Josh Smith game.
You gave up game 5. That was a mistake right there because you gave away game 5 thinking you was going to go home and thrash us, which they was doing. But James Harden was struggling. He sat on the bench throughout the whole game. We had guys like Corey Brewer, Josh Smith stepping up. And Josh Smith, that was the biggest game of his goddamn career.
It was.
We come back, we blow them out, then we blow them out at home. But the key for that series, you gave up game 5, think you were going to go home and win, think you were going to go home and automatic win. That's why I say you don't give up games in a series. You don't relax and just give away a game because, I mean, you never know. And we were getting blown out in the middle of 3 quarters. Jason Terry was on the floor too. We came back in that lineup, and we and it got to the point the Clippers couldn't make a basket, and we made everything down the stretch. We ended up whooping them at home and going to our Western Conference Final. I thought that was the kind of little bit of the backbreaker right there for Doc Rivers and stuff like that. But Mo, what you think about this head coaching carousel?
I'll say this about Dr. Phoenix. He has had success with veteran players. So it wouldn't shock me the fit, but I'd like to throw in some newer names because to me, if you're Milwaukee and you're considering Nick Nurse, you might as well kept Budenholzer. They're almost the same coach. You might as well kept Budenholzer. So do something different. Let's get some life. How about somebody like a Jay Wright or Kevin Ollie? After a while, all these retreads, you're going to get the same results. Like, it's okay to get some new blood up in there. Maybe guys that can relate better to today's players other than just bringing back and recycling old coaches.
Definitely on that part. Well, the Sixers fans hope it's not Mike D'Antoni. They hoping it's not Mike D'Antoni. So again, Mike D'Antoni he's overrated as well. He's an offensive guy. He's an offensive guy though, but he's definitely overrated. He's a James Harden guy, and he's a Daryl Morey guy. So it's kind of he made sense. For an interview, not saying he's going to get it, but if I'm the Sixers fan, I'll be scared of that damn hire right there. I'll tell you that right now. I kind of go away from that. That's what Joel Embiid got to come in and finally
say something, Coach.
You better say something on that one.
Because Mike D'Antoni, not only is he a James Harden guy, his style of play, it doesn't fit big men. It's not for big men. Like Joel Embiid is not trying to sprint up and down the court and play 7 seconds or less. That's not his style of play. Like, it won't benefit him. If you're going to have D'Antoni as the coach, Joel Embiid is going to become a sidekick to James Harden. He's not going to like that.
James Harden's on the way out anyways because he don't want to be there no more. The same as every time he fails in the playoffs. He gets mad and kicks his feet and says, I want out.
Yep, but again,
D'Antoni goes there, he's staying.
I mean, you got to look at it for this situation too. Joel Embiid doesn't have really a co-star too if he does leaves. So it doesn't work well on both sides. He doesn't have a co-star either if he leaves. The biggest probably closer to that, if Tyrese Maxey, that's the closest to it, but he's not recognized as a star yet. And he's got to come up for pay pretty soon. He's got to be paid for pretty soon. So the Sixers, Daryl Morey got his hands tied behind his back right now. James Harden leave. You don't got a co-star at this point of the moment. You don't got a co-star. Not saying they will win the damn title anyway. They win the damn title anyway if he stays. But then again, if he leaves, it won't help him also. Because again, you're right back where you started at. Joel Embiid. And then the rest of the roster, Rest of the roster is kind of suspect. So at the end of the day,
and they don't have cap space.
No, James Harden give you 21 points, 10 assists, but comes to the playoffs, everybody knows how bad he is. And he did step up in 2 games. He was the reason why they were in the series in the first place against that Boston Celtics team. He was he carried Sixers twice when Joel Embiid didn't do anything. He was out game 1. James Harden carried that game 1. Game 4, James Harden carried the game 4 when PJ Tucker was cussing Joel Embiid ass out to stop playing soft. And then neither one of them showed up in the last 2 games. So it is a hand tied behind your back if you're Daryl Morey. And James Harden is close to be paid $50 million this coming season. 4 years, $200 million. That is down to $50 million of pay right there. So I think my Houston Rockets is the front runner. I think Phoenix is in it. Phoenix may be in it. I mean, definitely we got the money to pay anybody. But again, if he does leave the 76ers, that's a lot of pressure too, because Joel Embiid won't even have a co-star next. So Daryl Morey got to figure it out. I would rather not have him in Houston, but I will welcome him because the team will get better and other guys will come in to help this roster out. So I would not be mad at all. We're not going to be a championship team anywhere it goes. James Harden
makes you relevant, though.
But he does. He does make us relevant. He does turn up into a better team. And I think the Sixers will be getting worse. As time and time go again. So it ain't the joke not on Houston Philly fans. It's on y'all. Because y'all will be in another spot with Joel Embiid again. So, hey, you can laugh Houston come back to Harston, but the joke will be on y'all again with Joel Embiid. Got to do it by himself again. So, hey, who you going to laugh at now out of that? But other than that, now, the Rock has been talking about, Chris Paul reuniting in Houston, which I don't think that's going to happen. I think James Harden is more likely to be back in Houston because he got businesses in here. His family still live down here. I think that's the more likely for the Rockets to come back. But say if that does happen, Mo, what would you think about it?
Wait, Chris Paul to the Rockets?
Yeah, it's possible. It's a rumor. We know James Harden rumor is the one and only, maybe the true rumor. But I'm not sure it's Paul. But if that combination was to happen, how would you feel about it?
Oh, you got them both back in Houston.
Yeah. James Harden is a possibility, though. He's very much
right. But if you got that combination, you're a playoff team. It's not championship, like you said. You're not gonna be especially with
you're not gonna win championship any damn way.
You got college kids. That's a college team more or less. They're that young. And still developing, but it would immediately give you credibility and make you relevant. It would make you competitive, and you would have 2 vets. I think 2 vets in a locker room like that. A lot of those guys can, especially Chris Paul. He's Mr. Professional. He could pull down a lot of wisdom to those younger guys, show them how to be professionals. It would impact them. Not to mention you got Coach Udoka, so you got that brain trust. Udoka, Chris Paul, James Harden. I think that would benefit the younger players. Now, look, on the floor, you never know how that's going to work. But in the end, big picture, it makes you relevant. It makes you a playoff contender.
You don't got to like the Rockets, cool. Nobody told you got to like the Rockets. You don't got to like them. I don't give a damn who you don't like. You don't got to like Mariah. I don't really care who don't. You can talk noise about them all day. It doesn't mean nothing. But Des, what you think about it?
With Chris Paul going to Miami with not Miami, but Houston with James Harden, I can see that in fruition. I can see that happening. You have a young team, right? And you want to have, I think we talked about this before, veterans that know the game. I think that team needs to be probably about 2 or 3 veterans, right? Chris Paul, he'll probably be, probably a second tier, probably 6-man maybe, rotational point guard, right? Because you already got a point, really, to be honest with you. But like Mo said, that puts you at least in playoff contention. Both players have playoff experience, the pedigree. They, I think weren't they both close to getting to the finals? Both of them, am I not mistaken?
Chris Paul got hurt.
Yeah,
Paul got hurt.
Yeah,
Chris Paul got hurt and Harden disappeared.
That's the thing. Chris Paul, he always gets hurt when it's like the biggest moment. You think about if he wasn't hurt with Phoenix, we could all say, okay, would they make that a better series? It would have made it a little better series because you see the change of pace, right? I think it'd be good though for Houston as well as the city of Houston. You know, I just feel because like Coach Dante said, we all know this. They have the most cap space in the NBA right now, so they have buku money to spend. Right. I feel too, like I said, it's just the veteran savviness and getting a player like James Harden that can turn that switch on offensively when needed be. The only question I have with that is when it's the playoffs, can you show up? You know, and then if in the 76ers, if you do lose James Harden during this free agency period, like Coach Dante said, who's going to be the co-star for Joel Embiid?
That's what I'm
It's not going to
saying.
be Tobias Harris. It's not going to be Tobias Harris at all. So you need to find someone to coexist with Joel Embiid. He's not going to be that big that runs up and down the court like Nikola Jokic. Nikola Jokic will definitely run up and down the damn court and be the damn point guard. Joel Embiid will just walk on the damn court. So Houston, though, I think that's good. Like I said, I'm really excited for them. I heard they're trying to go for Austin Reeves as well, be really aggressive. If I'm the Lakers, I would try to get Austin Reeves immediately because I won't lie, even the Lakers, he carried the Lakers at
Houston's
moments.
one of those teams. They can make an offer that he can't refuse.
Exactly. And then you look at, you got defense, you got size, you got depth. That's the biggest three things I think that any NBA team wants: size, depth, and speed, and athleticism. That's all they want. And I think Houston getting Chris Paul, he gives you that change of pace, and then James Harden gives you that spacing and shooting the three. I think it's a good move. I'm Houston, I'm the GM, I'm going for it. I'm swinging for it. This is the moment that you need to hit it. You need to hit it on the head. You need to hit it on the head.
I say we can pay it for them both if we want them. Actually, want them. We can pay for Austin Reeves and Harden both if we want them. But Jeremy, go ahead. Give me your thoughts.
Well, this would be round 2 of Chris Paul and James Harden, and it hasn't been good because either one gets hurt or the other one can't get it done when the other one's out.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a great move. I think Austin Reeves makes more sense than Chris Paul.
Yep. I could agree with it. It's going to make the team better in the playoff scenario. But again, we're not going to win we're not going to win a title anyway, but it does instantly help us get better. And we do got better coaching. We do got a better coach. We do got
right. I mean, that's the reason why you guys are doing anything at all.
Yep.
And trying to make moves because you have the cap space. You can do it. If you didn't have a better coach, guess what? You'd be sitting there just like the Pistons, just developing your offensive talent and sitting back going like this.
Yeah, it wouldn't bother me. It wouldn't bother me at all. I didn't grow out of that crap. So other than that, man, fellas, it's been a very good morning show, man. First of all, I got a question. I got a question for Jeremy. Tigers competing, man. Talk to me about them, man.
Well, we play in the worst division in baseball. So when you're the second best crappy team in baseball, you will be okay. You will beat the bad team. I'm not wrong.
They're
still below 500. They don't play fundamentally sound from day in to day out. They've won a few series. They've had a few good games. Some people are showing up like they should. Javi Baez isn't swinging at everything but a strike. So he's actually been making contact with the ball and hitting for power again. Hallelujah. So I hated that signing. I told you that last year. Remember, I was like, I hate Baez. He's too aggressive. He swings at everything but a strike.
What you gotta told me the same thing to what's that I forgot my man name, the one that's on the South Florida Tribune. He told me that too.
Scott Morganroth.
He told me Scott told me that too. He said he swings at everything. He said that was a busted move right there. That's what I just made.
I mean, when you average over 200 strikeouts a year, you're an aggressive swinger.
Yep.
That being said, they're doing well. I do want to talk about some things that are going on in my podcast world before I hop on here because I got some things to do. Let's Talk Sports has asked me to do 2 shows with them. It'll be the Jeremy Ballrick Show. I'm interviewing former players and coaches on Fridays at 8 and Sundays at 2 until the season starts. And then I'm not doing a Sunday show because, Lions football takes precedent in my life. But that's going on. Scott Morganroth has had me be on a part of a lot of his shows as a co-host, and we're getting ready to do our own show as well. So things are going good. Sideline Sports is helping me to promote as well as the Sports Empire Network. I can't be happier.
Gotcha. Yep. Gotcha.
So in the podcasting world, I'm doing great. In personal life, I'm getting better.
Gotcha. Des, tell everybody where they can get you at.
You guys can find me on the Sports Empire Network, YouTube as well. I'll start doing a lot more YouTube stuff, especially with the Nuggets as well. I'm doing a lot more like what's it called, a little YouTube shorts. I don't do like the whole dang videos. I just feel like shorts are just faster, easier. Anyways, they get right to the point. So definitely check that out for sure. And definitely there'll be some more content for sure coming because of the NBA Finals and what the city's going to do. I think they're going to do a lot more watch parties as well. What they're trying to do with the city here in Denver, they're trying to manage. When they had the avalanche last year, they had a bunch of college kids go through the gate and go up on the gate and climb into, sneak into the watch party. So we'll see what's going to happen this year. But it's going to be exciting. So definitely stay tuned.
Mo, tell people where they can follow you at.
You can check me out right here on the Empire Sports Empire Network. Look forward to another episode of the NBA Cypher podcast that'll drop on Thursday. And other than that, I'll be ready to go for Coffee and Sports in the morning tomorrow.
Let's do it, man. Let's do it. So y'all already know, no introduction for me where to find me at. Find me right here. I ain't hard to find. Find me everywhere around YouTube. I'm not really actually hard to find. I'll tell you what we will be doing. We will be doing 2 baseball games today since it's no basketball, no WNBA. We'll do 2 baseball games today. So other than that, your boy Coach Dante, my boy Mo Better, boy Dez, my boy Smoking Jeremy, aka B. We'll see y'all in the next morning show. Peace out, you guys.
Peace, love.